everybody, it's Marcia O'Regan here, founder and owner of Glory True Colours, and I'm absolutely delighted and honoured to be coming in here today in Magical Creators. In fact, we're coming in here for the week. And it's just so funny how things happen. I'm a firm believer of always being divinely led, and I know that Inga is always divinely led as well, and I think that's what gets her work to stand out, because she is well, she works very similar to me. She really works with divine downloads. What is funny about coming in now, like why this week, what I find really interesting is that this month is a really, really powerful month. It's the color of gold. And what this means is that it is the month of wealth, of prosperity, of connecting really on a deeper level into the mystery of life, the divine truth that your reality and your norm, what you came in to is to actually abundance, right? So it's like really, 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 really powerful. So I am intending to harness the power of gold this week with you, so that you really raise your game into your soul's highest potential. And that's also for the month of May. It's like, you know, it is really about stopping with this mediocrity, stopping with this playing small, holding yourself back, getting rid of the stories that are not true. So first of all, what I'm going to do today is to maybe just because maybe some of you don't know me, but let me give you a bit of a background to myself. So I am a soul guide and spiritual mentor for women. I have been working in spiritual and personal development field now for over 15 years. And my first step into that was color therapy. So I trained as a color therapist, and then I went on and I wrote my own course, and I trained color therapists. And then I, about maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, I got a download. I was supposed to be running the course, again, the color course, and again, I wasn't feeling it. And this is something that's really important about wealth and about really showing up in the divine feminine way, is to stop doing things that do not feel in resonance. And so, but that requires bravery, it requires courage, it requires, you know, the divine is your only source. And I believe and know that to be true deeply on a bone level. And I would love to pass on that truth to everybody, because I feel with this coronavirus, it's like, I'm just so glad it's here, even though it's changing, you know, it's not difficult, it's difficult for a lot of people, but this is exactly a huge wake-up call back into divine truth. Because what the conditioning has been through all over the world is that our power has been put on the outside. Our power has been put on businesses, on, you know, in companies, politics, people in power, that is just like, they are my only source. And what I know to be true is that, and security, you know, nothing is secure. If we can just let go the need to be secure and the need to know, we would be living freely, because the truth is that you've got the power. Everything that is required for you to be successful, your version of it is completely possible, because you've come in with everything that you need. But the question is, are you using this power? Do you believe in yourself enough? I just really feel that this is a fantastic opportunity to shake things up and just really taking a look at what is your truth. Let me just talk, first of all, this is a really important thing to know before we go into the energy of money. In relation to, I never finished my I got off a tangent. So what happened then was I basically didn't feel it. to continue in the work that I'm doing. And this is why I feel this is a great opportunity for everybody to really feel into how are you feeling in your business? How are you feeling with the programs you're offering? And if the energy isn't there in a level 8 to 10, then I would really encourage you to either pause, to look, to tune in, to feel into what is the divine plan for you. Because I wasn't feeling it, so I said I am not running that course, and I had nothing else to go to. This was my income, but I knew that I couldn't go against what I felt, and I trusted that there was a higher plan for me. And within a couple of weeks, I got a download of this Inner Wealth Activator, which was all about money, all about the it's healing your money story. It was all about the aspects of money that are true. And it literally was incredible. And I then took, where fear cannot exist if we're taking action. So then I thought, okay, I've got this. And I went to my color therapy graduates, and I said, listen, girls, I'm after getting this. Can I try it out on you? This feels really powerful. And I took them through the process, and it literally transformed their lives. And then I went to my list, and 25 people joined that program. And now this continues today, and it's changing people's lives, because money, as an entrepreneur, you have got to heal your money story to rise into the next level of your soul's journey, and of the next level of your business. And every new level has a new devil. And so therefore, this is why you have to keep on coming back to other layers of the money story, because it's ancestral. It's also particularly for women in the field of the woman, and our history, if you think about it, that women didn't really have the choice to have money, because, here in Ireland, there was a time, not very long ago, we're talking maybe, 50 or 60 years ago, where they had to have permission to have their own bank accounts. So that is playing. And so we are required, the women of today are here to heal that money story and claim our divine right, and that's upgrade our self-worth to say, I am the one that generates money from my gifts. So the unknown and the known are the same. I know that also to be true. And I'll tell you why. When you know something and you move into, and you take, the quantum field, you will see, if you were to be watching it under a microscope, that has already changed. So this is why it's extremely, extremely important to not give a damn about knowing or not knowing, because you know what? Your soul knows. So that's all you have to, and the divine knows. So that's all you have to be concerned about. So let me just talk about the truth about money first of all, and then we're going to clear the slate clean. We're going to say, whatever happened in the past does not define you, right? It's your current frequency and your current identity with the who you are being, who you are on the soul level. It is this moment that is determining the future. So we're going to clear all that, so that we're going to start off like you finish the line now. There is no going back there, and you are just going on a new path. You are crossing the line with me, and we are walking together into the reality of prosperity, our divine right. Okay, so prosperity it's the natural process of life. If you look outside, I'm looking outside in my garden there, which is beautiful, and I'm just being reminded continuously by nature about the abundance, about the richness, and about the change. And so what you need to know is that abundance is unquestionable. The thing is that we have been conditioned that lack is the norm. Lack is not the norm. Abundance is the norm. And so if you haven't got that abundance in different areas of your life. And by the way, for me, wealth and money, it's not just about money. It's like there's no point in having money if you haven't, if you're not happy in yourself. If like wealth for me is the money, it's the amazing relationships, it's pleasure. It's like what pleasure. So for me, like every morning, my abundance is that I'm having a beautiful organic latte coffee that I order from a guy in Belgium, and I feel I am contributing my prosperity to him as well. So it's this kind of money is the creation. Money is meant to be created, so it moves. If you're holding on to money and if you're in lack, it becomes stagnant. And so because money is an energy, it needs to be moved. And so I'm very conscious about what I'm in every moment, about what I'm doing in relation to my abundance presence, okay? Now, if you think about ancient times, we were like the ancients taught this knowledge, right? That to understand yourself, being at one with yourself, means that actually you are aligning, it aligns you naturally into your natural state of being abundant, right? And what happened was that the Christian religion, I mean, thousands of years ago, I'm talking like AD 180, right? It was Bishop of Lyon who changed that thinking. People up to then knew the truth that the divine was their only source. But actually, he changed, saying, no, it's you're putting your power, it's like the religion, they have to go to the church to actually have that abundance. That, so it was that hierarchical conditioning that actually changed that. And then people over time were conditioned that this is outside of me. It is not outside of you at all. It's inside of you. And this is my my work really, to go, if whatever you want, go and do the inner work, and you will be aligned to it. So money is part of the physical living process. It's an act of love for two reasons. So when I got channeled the Inner Wealth Activator, I was told two things. That the signing of the contract when I would work with clients is the commitment, and the money exchange is the anchoring into the energy. Now, there's another aspect, is that when it comes to you spending money on a course or on anything, in fact, this is about two aspects. It's about how willing you are to give to yourself, to receive. Okay, that's the first point. And the second thing is, it's you having enough self-worth to spend that money on yourself. Okay, what I know about intuition is not logical in a lot of cases. So if you could stop and drop the logic and go into the intuition and the feeling and the sense and the trust 150% that the divine is your only source, and that you came into this world with everything to be successful, and that the divine wants you to thrive, then own it. And then I can guarantee you that you will start living an abundant life, and you'll have so many different synchronistic. You will think of something and it'll literally come on your lap. This is what I mean about the being and the doing. It's like you start with the being first. How am I being? What am I feeling? What is my frequency? What are my thoughts? How am I being? How am I showing up? And then from that place, you take the aligned action. But what people are doing is that they're actually doing, they're doing the opposite. They're like FOMO, they're putting the power on the others to be the solution. You are the solution. And ultimately, you do know, it's just that you may need a leg up or a pull out or some guidance to kind of get you into what you're sensing and be reassured, because you're unlearning all the control mechanisms that you're aware of and not aware of. And this is what this is about right now. And so when it comes to expenses, it's just like, review your expenses, but to see, are they expenses that actually don't give me a value, or are they investments? So for example, being in this program is an investment, right? Being in another group, for example, that is about raising your vibration, connecting with divine source, raising your wealth, they're investments. But all the other stuff, the things, then I would actually drop those, and I would really look at what brings me joy, what's going to raise my frequency. And so this is why we're in such a magical, I feel the energy is like the energy of possibilities. A few years ago, I decided that I had enough of the up and down, and I was like, okay, who am I being? So I was like, I want to be the six-figure entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, what would a six-figure entrepreneur be doing? Right? So what was I doing? I stopped doing all the things I was doing, meeting this one for coffee. They felt absolutely amazing having spent a couple of hours with me, but I was just like, which was free coaching. So I stopped doing that, and I started going, what else would and so what are the things that I'm doing that a six-figure entrepreneur wouldn't be doing? Because at the end of the day, the time is a currency, right? And your talents are a personal currency. So if you think about what you're doing with your talents, what kind of currency and value are you putting on those, right? So it's like, it's really claiming it and identifying with you being that person. And within 4 months, I was in I had six-figure months. And you know what I also know is that it takes the same energy to make 100 euros, 1,000 euros, 10,000 euros, 20,000 euros, 40,000 euros. It takes the same energy. The only difference is your projection and your belief on what that amount of money represents. So what I'd suggest, and what we'll do, is we'll take all the power back. We're going to call that back, and we're going to stand in our own power, and we are going to claim our divine right, and we're going to be open to the magic, to the curiosity, and we're going to ask. That's the other thing too. Ask and you will receive. Allow yourself to receive. And then the other thing that I find about women specifically is that they're not good at receiving, and the money might come in, but then a bill will come in for the same amount, and you're like, because they're not letting it in. So this is like having a gift delivered by the postman at your door, and you're not opening up the door, okay? So this is something that's really, 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 really important. I only attract people who are willing, who are actually willing to put a bet on themselves and say, you know what, I am sick up to my back teeth of the old story, and they'll pay a significant amount of money, and they will show up differently because they're showing up to all the calls. They're doing what has come in on the session, on the one-to-one sessions. They are doing the work. They are not letting fear win. And also, actually, I'm pulling them out. I'm like going, no, I am not letting you do that. You signed up with me not to do the same, to do things differently. And I can tell you that in a very, very short period of time, their life has literally had a turnaround. And so the thing is that if you're playing, if someone is, and you can have like a lower end program for people who actually, there are people who are a bit cautious, who want to give it a try, who want to dip their toe in. That is a program that is self-study, or that has a little bit of you. But the real work is, it requires commitment, it requires investment for you to show up, and therefore they're the people that will actually, they have invested the money. And I've had people to say, Marcia, you know what, I showed up to all the calls because I wanted to get the value of the money that I spent on myself, and they got the results because they were not allowing themselves, oh, I'm tired, or letting those little stories, or making other things or other situations wrong. They're all excuses, right? There is no time for this right now. We are here to step up, to show up, to do the work that we contracted on a soul level, and to get out of our own way. And you know what? It's liberating. It's such a liberating experience. It's like, and then the other thing will be, what I swear by for me is like, my number one priority is high frequency. And if I'm not on the high frequency, then I need to come back and say, what's going on here? Now, myself, I've been through a lot these last 6 months because I moved on a divine download. I moved my family from Belgium back to Ireland. My husband was commuting. I was managing 3 children on my own. Also getting used to being a new country. Going back also to family dynamics that I felt I had to do a lot of this clear. And when you have a low point, if you just look even at nature, you are rising. It's an opportunity to rise into your next level. So it's when you're not in that good place. So for me, it's the essences. I swear by essences. So I use the healing orchid essences or the Bach flower, and it's like the walnut for the Bach flower. So protecting your energy, keeping your foot focused, which is clematis for the Bach, or unicorn invincible focus from the healing orchids. And walking the earth rhythm, grounding, also from the healing orchids. They are my go-to. I swear by those essences. So your number one priority is not to do. Your number one priority is to be. Okay. To say as well about the wisdom of other people thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago who knew this knowledge, right? And I don't know if you know, but the first place where money was created was actually in Turkey, right? So it's like it's an exchange of value. It's a representation of love. You loving yourself enough to invest in yourself and to also receive, okay? And that is both the giver. So when you are handing over your money, it's for you, but it's the receiver. So that's why I will always bless the person and the money. And I wish in intent, clarity of intent, that the person will actually get the value tenfold in whatever way is for their highest good and highest purpose. And this is a beautiful way to, and there's something honoring, there's something humbling, I think, in that. From that place. And then I always see my clients in abundance. Always. I never see my clients in lack, ever, because we're not serving them. I want you to feel that. As I'm saying these words, we're going to say it in the I am born to be rich and to grow rich using my gifts, my faculties, and that this is my natural state of being. Okay? So now, what we're going to do now next is we are going to, so this is the talking, this is like moving into like hearing, letting it dropping in. And now we're going to do the experience, like the energy. This is where we're like, we know it, you've heard what I've said. Now we're going to align to it. So actually it's about the alignment of what you know, okay?